a lot of coaches are reluctant to teach the double knee bend in the lift. The double knee bend happens when the weightlifter starts with a bent knee, and then they push through the floor, and then the knees will rebend underneath the bar to propel the bar, to drive it upwards. And that's an art, or that's something that coaches don't teach a lot of, because it segments the lift and really can take a really good athlete and make them look really shitty trying to do the movement. Kind of happens automatically as long as the lifter is in the right position.
Yep.
Was that it?
Sounds good.
All right. Hey guys, welcome back to Jerk Block Talk. On a previous episode, we talked about pushing to create space. Now we're going to talk about what to do with that space. A lot of coaches are reluctant to teach the double knee bend in the lift. The double knee bend happens when the weightlifter starts with a bent knee, and then they push through the floor, and then the knees will rebend underneath the bar to propel the bar, to drive it upwards. And that's an art, or that's something that coaches don't teach a lot of, because it segments the lift and really can take a really good athlete and make them look really shitty trying to do the movement. Kind of happens automatically as long as the lifter is in the right position. But we have a different approach to it. We kind of teach the double knee bend, but we don't really talk about it. And we do it through weight distribution. So Brendan's going to show us how we push to create space, just as a little review, and then we're going to talk about what to do with it. So we're pushing through the floor, and the arms stay straight, and at the very top of the push, we have a little bit of space between the thighs and the barbell, and that allows us to act with the hip and the knee together, and the body and the bar will collide together to drive upwards. And so how we approach the double knee bend, or what to do with that space, is that as he pushes through the floor, the weight is going to shift more towards the ball of the foot. And so a lot of the weight is going to be right behind the ball of the foot. And then from here, in order to get that snap of the hips and to add the knee and the hip together, we're going to slam the heel down, but we're not going to do it by lifting the toes. We just keep our weight distributed through almost to the front of the foot, and then we add the heel. And that gives us the whole foot down on the ground. So that's one cue that we'll actually use, is to attack the ground with the whole foot. And that's done by adding the heel to the middle of the foot. So weight is distributed at the top of the push, right behind the ball of the foot, and then he's going to put the whole foot down to snap the hips into it. And that's where we get that double knee bend. That's when the knees scoop underneath the bar so that we can drive upward. Do one full speed, Brent, with the pause at the top of the push. So he's going to push and pause, and then he's going to snap and add the heel so that the whole foot is down, and that's what snaps the hip to get that power in the top of the drive. And so power in the top of the drive comes from being able to act with the knee and the hip together, and that gives us that really forceful, powerful drive into the floor that drives the barbell upwards. And the easiest way to do that for us is with weight distribution. So ball of the foot at the top of the push, slam the heel down for the whole foot to get through the floor to drive upwards. Miss anything?
No. Do you guys have any drills for that? Or you just go?
Oh, yeah. We do. Actually, it's in our intro program. So again, in a previous episode, we talked about intro program, and this is one of the drills that we'll do. And so we'll start from this position, and then we'll add the push to it. So first, he'll just start in an unscooped position, or mid-thigh or above the knee, but this is the top of the push to us. And we'll cue for the lifter to be right behind the ball of the foot with the weight, and then we'll cue them to do just pulls, snatches, pulls, and cleans. So there's a good example of a snatch pull from that position, and then snatches from that position. And then the addition to this is to do it from the floor, and do the first movement, or a snatch lift off, or snatch deadlift, and pause right at the top of the push, and then continue with either a pull or a snatch. And so this gives you an opportunity to see the lifter's weight distribution. It also gives a lifter the opportunity to experiment with the weight distribution a little bit, to feel what it's like to have your weight all the way shifted back, and then what happens to your hips if it is, and then to get your foot properly onto the ground with the right behind the ball of the foot, and adding the whole foot and seeing what happens at the hip. So those are our favorite. And again, that's in our intro programs. So that's one of the first things that the lifter will learn, and then we'll add a little complexity to it or add intensity to it. So,
How'd Masters Nationals go?
Masters Nationals was awesome. We took 8 lifters, and we had 2 first place, 1 second, 3 fourth places. Right? Yeah. Did awesome, and there were a ton of PRs, and it was a lot of fun. We had a blast.
65% of the lifts.
65, yeah, 65. Our goal, and this is something that was passed down through Leo Totten, who's head of East Coast Gold, but we try to make 66% of our lifts. We want to go 4 for 6, and we were right there. We were 65%. So it was a good weekend. It was a great weekend. There's something else I wanted to add. What was it?
When's the next meet?
We're having an in-house one here for our nationals qualifiers and anybody else who wants to do it. So it's going to be a good time. And then we have a handful of local ones coming up, but the biggest one would be the national championships, and hopefully we're going to take a squad out there. We have 2 already, and not including myself, so 3 including myself, and then we have a handful of others that are right on the brink of hitting that total. So hopefully we'll make it coming up here in April, and we'll be on our way out to Chicago.
Cool. Anything else?
That's it. All right. Well, thanks. And if you have any questions, put them in the comments below. And thanks for checking us out.